And today, what we're talking about is we're continuing our story, our series on Celebrate. And we're celebrating our stories, celebrating what God has done in our lives, and celebrating just that, the fact that we get to share what God has done in our lives with our friends and with our families. And today, as you can see, it's going to be a little bit different morning, and I'm excited. I was thinking about it a couple weeks ago. Was Jay's birthday, and I was sitting back and I was thinking, man, that guy is so old. I was like, it just hit me. That guy's a dinosaur. He's like twice as old as most of you guys. And then I started thinking about myself, and I had a little bit of a midlife crisis, a little panic, and I was like, dude, I'm getting old. I hear old people always parents, and I'm quit talking about how old you are. And I was like, when I was in middle school, most of you guys were maybe preschool, maybe kindergarten, and I was thinking back, and I was like, how do we talk about sharing our faith? How do we talk about sharing our faith if we haven't been in middle school for years? I was looking back, and I don't think I've honestly, I can't comprehend what it's like to be in junior high today. I don't think I've ever heard a full Justin Bieber song. I couldn't tell you one show that's on the Disney Channel. I don't remember exactly what it's like to be on a Little League baseball team. And earlier this weekend, I got the chance to chaperone a dance at Wells Middle School. Did anybody go to Wells? So it was Wells and Fallon, and I'm there, and I'm starting to have a good time, and just start dancing. I'm pulling the lawnmower. I'm and I'm walking it, and these kids are just looking at me like, what is this old weird guy doing? We don't dance like that anymore. And I was shaking, this guy's a weirdo. But all I have to say, also, I wasn't a Christian in middle school. I don't know what it's like. So because of that, I've asked some of your peers to come up, and I'm just going to ask them a few questions, and we're just going to talk for a little bit about how we share our faith, and then I'll conclude with why. What's the point? Why? We've been talking about this, but why does this even matter? So if you guys could just pass the mic down, let them know who you are, what grade, where you go to school. Chandler, you want to start?
My name is Chandler. I'm 13 years old, and I go to East Avenue.
My name is Noah. I'm 14, and I go to Mendenhall Middle School.
I'm Eric, and I'm 14 and go to Harvest Park in Pleasanton.
My name is Mirabella. I'm 13, 7th grade, and I go to school at St. Michael's.
My name is Savannah, and I'm 14, and I go to Valley Christian.
Yeah!
My name is Rachel. I'm 14, and I go to Christensen.
All right. Let's give a round of applause for our great students. Okay. Chandler, I'm going to start off with you, buddy. Okay. What are some of the hardest and easiest things about being a Christian at your school?
One of the hardest things about being a Christian is that not everybody else there is Christian, so I get made fun of on some occasions for wearing a cross and stuff.
Yeah, that's tough, man. You got some of the easiest things, some things that are easier ways to live out your faith. Okay, so sometimes it can be difficult, man. Eric, what about you, man?
One of the hardest things is that not everyone is Christian, and sometimes people try and get me to sin. Just the other week, someone asked me why do I not swear, and it's just tough when people do that.
Yeah, it's totally hard. Noah, let's hear from you, man. What are some of the hardest things?
You don't know what most people are going to think, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, and you don't know if they're going to make fun of you or think, oh yeah, that's cool. Some of that might be hard, and you might not want to show it just because you're afraid what people might think.
Yeah, totally, dude. That's tough. I want to pass it on to Rachel. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
Some of the hardest things about being a Christian is people judge you about how they think think of you.
Yeah, totally.
It's kind of it's the easiest thing is it's fun to spread Christianity. It's a good thing to be able to spread it.
Totally. God does some amazing things through you guys, and all that the things that make it hard, when you do get the opportunity, it's just awesome. So my next question is how do people at school know that you're a Christian? Savannah, you want to see that
Well, I try to be friendly to everyone and just let people know that I'm there for them if they ever need to talk, and just just show God's love to them. So.
Awesome. What about you, Mirabelle?
Well, okay, so people at school know that I'm a Christian because I'm always smiling. I like to just kind of make everybody happy. Some people say I have a kind heart, but I mean, maybe I do.
I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that.
I usually talk with my friends about going to church and how everything that God's done for me in my life, and some of them don't want to hear it, and some are just want to hear more and feel like that's really good.
Yeah, totally. You guys will hear later when I'm kind of sharing my story. I remember there were some people, they'd seen, I became a Christian when I was a senior in high school, and lived a totally different life all the way up through that. And then some people saw me and were like, what happened to this guy? He's turned into a weirdo. So, guys, when I say sharing your faith, what does that even mean to you? Let's start off with Chandler.
I think that sharing your faith means talking to others about Christianity and not necessarily trying to convert them and preaching at them, but just talking to them about it.
That's awesome, man. What about you, Savannah?
For me, it's just telling people your story and your relationship with God, and just just talking to them about it and seeing what they think.
Okay. Rachel.
I think it means to express your feelings for God.
Okay.
To be able to show people how you feel about Him.
Okay.
What He does for you.
And the next question is, what are your biggest fears and challenges with sharing your faith, and how do you overcome that? Noah, how do you do that, man? What are your biggest fears and challenges with sharing your faith?
Well, I mean, you can try to share your faith, and your biggest fear might be that people might look at you differently and might be like, oh, you're kind of weird. But they might also think, oh yeah, I'm a Christian too. We should hang out sometime. You might make a new friend or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
And just the challenge is just telling people about your faith. I mean, it's hard to do that, but you just gotta try to overcome it and pray to God about should I share my faith with certain people? Yeah,
that's an awesome point, man. Sometimes the first step might just be God, I feel like I should tell this guy about my life and tell about what you've done, but I don't know what that looks like. So a lot of times that's the first step. What about you, Rachel?
Some of the biggest fears are what he said, being teased or looked at differently. Mm-hmm. And I think the challenge is overcoming that fear. Of you being teased and stuff.
Yeah, totally. And sometimes we'll come across kids at school that have different faith backgrounds. Maybe they grew up and they have a Mormon background, or they have a Muslim background. And so what I'm interested to hear from you guys is how do we talk to God about people like that? So Eric, let me hear from you first, man.
I have a couple of friends from different faiths, and I just try and respect their religion and don't get all in their face, and I ask them questions about what they believe instead of me just telling them what I believe. Okay, then often they ask me back what I ask them.
Yeah, just kind of get to know where they're coming from and stuff. That's awesome, dude. What about you, Savannah?
I have a few friends that are Mormon, so I'll just invite them to events and stuff, and they just started they went to a few and they loved them, and now they're asking me when the events are because they're like, oh, this is so awesome. So
yeah, that's awesome. And then Chandler, you had said, I'm gonna switch up the question on you. You said sometimes it's tough to get picked on and stuff. How do you react to that, man? Have you ever had some times when someone is just kind of mean to you because you're a Christian or what you believe?
People just make fun of me, not just because I'm a Christian, not because of stuff that I've said, just because I wear a cross and wristbands from church and everything. And I try to, and I stay calm about it, and I don't really say much, but when I look back on it, it could have been a good opportunity to talk about God.
Totally, dude. That's some good insight. And then just some practical stuff. What are some ways that you guys show God's love at school? So can I start off with Savannah?
Just be a friend again, and just like show random acts of kindness throughout the day, and they'll start noticing it, and they'll be like, wow, they're really different. I wonder if they're a Christian, or like if they do ask you, then you just tell them that you're a Christian.
Yeah, because people will notice like, whoa, why is that guy so nice to me? I've seen people that just like are like so friendly that it's almost weird. Like, hi, my name's Doug. How are you? How's it going? It's like, whoa, chill out for a second, buddy. They just want to like get to know you so much. Noah, what does that look like for you, man?
Well, just like you have to like just show acts of random kindness, and you don't want to like push too much like new religion in their life. You just gotta do like little bits at a time, and
totally.
Just little stuff like that.
I don't know. What about you, Mirabella?
Can you repeat the question?
What are some ways that you like just show God's love? Show God's love at your school.
Well, showing a positive attitude also to other students, and talking about like the summer camps we have, the events and everything, and I just kind of showing a positive attitude and helping other people. Like I'll like inside pray for someone if they're struggling or anything, and just like
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's one thing that thinking back on this, and one that's really standing out to me is be yourselves. Like some of you guys, just your smiles and who you are. Like maybe because I'm already a Christian, I recognize these things, but like you guys just show God's love just being yourselves. So that's a great point. Rachel, what do you have to say about this? What are some ways you show God's love at your school?
Same thing. You should smile. Just
Yeah.
And almost in our everyday activities, you guys like show that God must love us a pretty dang lot if He provides all this for us and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
yeah, it's all about Him.
Okay. All right, you guys are doing great. Final question. You ready? How do you guys think you as students should invite your friends to church, invite your friends to events or whatever? Can I start off with Savannah? You got the mic. Let's hear from you first.
Okay, well, just tell them, like, Sarah, we're having a sleepover night, and she'll be like, oh, cool, and we'll be like, yeah, oh, I forgot to tell you, we're going to a party, and then she'll be like, oh, okay, and then she'll go to, like, what's it called, you guys, that we do, yeah, just like the events, and then she'll be like, wow, that was really awesome, and then, yeah, that's what I did, and now they go to all of them, so.
For the record, her name doesn't have to be Sarah,
Okay.
or it could be a boy. But we love Sarahs, but we're open to all kinds of different names. Eric, what about you, man?
Kind of like Savannah, I think it's really important that you invite them to events first because they're so much fun. And then after that, the next step I think is if they had a fun time, invite them to life groups.
Totally.
Because those are also pretty fun, and then they'll start hearing about God and they'll ask you questions.
Right on, man. Noah, you got some thoughts on this?
Well, like all the events there are like awesome. You have games and competitions, and you just like have jumpy slides and all that stuff. And it's real fun. And then at the end, we'll have just like a little worship thing. And it's just awesome. And like the Halloween game design, I met a friend at school for like just a couple of days, and then I saw him here, and now we're like really good friends, and that was really cool. And then just come to life groups and have fun there, get some food, most of them, and then play some tag.
Totally. So that's you guys are doing awesome, man. Like that is why we have these events, because it's just an awesome way for if your friends might not feel comfortable going to church or going to life groups at some random friend's house. just invite them to a group like Savannah and someone were saying, like, an awesome way is a sleepover. Like, I'm a big fan of sleepovers. I still have them to this day. And so, yeah, can we give a round of applause?